Hey guys, Trader Main here with another video. In this one, I'm going to tell you about Ethereum's big secret, something that you may not know. That big secret is that we have effectively a billionaire telegraphing where he's going to buy by using some baby pits level TA. So Tom Lee, who is I think effectively the Michael Saylor of Ethereum, I think that would be a pretty fair characterization. On the 18th of August, he effectively said, hey, this is my TA guy, and you know it's a big deal when he has SCMT in his name. That means he's a certified market technician. That's right. You can pay an institution, and they will give you a certification in drawing lines and boxes on a chart. Now, he said, I believe because of Ichimoku Cloud and effectively this trend line that we are going to tag this low on ETH, 4075 to 4150 in the next couple of days. And he also said that he thinks Bitcoin is not going to go under 112,000. That was wrong. Obviously, ETH is actually much higher while Bitcoin is lower. Clearly showing that this guy's TA maybe doesn't account for the fact that ETH BTC has been leading, Bitcoin dominance has been weak, and maybe he's just throwing these random lines on the chart and doesn't actually know what he's talking about. And then he came back and dunked saying, look at that, we bought him just like he said. But the funny thing is, guys, is he's saying, hey, we're going to bottom here. And then what's Tom Lee do? He goes and buys a few $1 billion worth of Ethereum at the level. So it's a chicken and the egg question. Is TA legit or is it bullshit, right? Like, what comes first, the trend line or the guy buying $1 billion at the trend line? And what you'll realize is it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If enough people think a level of support should hold, it will hold, especially if a bunch of people buy at that level. Now, it's not going to work every time because TA doesn't work every time, but it works especially well if you have a billionaire helping with that self-fulfilling prophecy by buying at that level. So he did that last week, and then he came back like a CT influencer legend and was like, did you fade my call, you fucking bitch? I told you where to buy, and that's where I bought. It's reminiscent of Trump saying buy the dip at the Pico Schmico lows of the stock market back in April. Now, Tom Lee is back again with his good friend Mark Newton, and they are using another trend line, and he's effectively saying, hey, the market is going to bottom, at 4,300, around there, and then it's going to go to 5,100 and beyond. His ETH prediction was incorrect, but he's effectively saying, hey, this is where you buy, and I would not be surprised at all if Tom Lee comes in and steps on the fucking bid again. Now, if you've been watching these videos, we actually longed the same level that Tom Lee did. Now, not to fucking toot my own horn, but you know I love to toot my own fucking horn like a lot. I'm a fucking fucking self-horn tutor extraordinaire. But we posted it first, okay? And then the billionaire, he saw my order block, and he said, oh my God, Trader Main drew an order block here. I better buy. But that's all TA really is. I hate to fucking shatter the conceptions or misconceptions that you may have had about TA being some sort of fucking magical thing. It's not really. It's making educated guesses. That's why even though this is where support should be, and we had a billionaire buy here, if there was more sellers than buyers, the level wouldn't have worked. Hate to break it to you. Anyways, so now the question is Mark Newton going to go 2 for 2? Because he's effectively saying, okay, well, this is a trend line here, and this is where it should bottom within the next 12 hours. I wouldn't be surprised, again, if Tom Lee is now buying here based on that. Do I think that this is where Ethereum should bounce? I think we've had a pretty decent pullback after taking out the prior all-time high, and we are into an area of demand here. And yes, there is a trend line here. The other thing that Mark Newton said that I agree with is really this move can still be viewed as bullish as long as this higher low holds. And that's what he said. He's like, as long as we hold that higher low from the 18th, this pullback is the one you buy. And so if you're a bull on ETH, regardless of Tom Lee and Mark Newton, you're looking at this chart and you're saying, okay, we are in an uptrend, right? We're clearly in an uptrend here. And here's your low. Here's your higher high. This is exactly where the higher low should form. And this is exactly where that invalidation would be. So I agree with Mark Newton's analysis. And I hope that Tom Lee does the exact same thing he did here and longs a bunch of fucking ETH so we can make a bunch of money. Okay, so that is the big secret. There's a billionaire telling you where he's going to buy. And this is one of those things where, first of all, my analysis lines up for it. Great. But analysis means nothing. If Tom Lee said, hey, I'm fucking selling, I changed my mind on ETH, it wouldn't matter if my analysis said this is where the higher low should form. It's going to drop, right? That being said, this is one of those things where I think, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they've gone 1 for 1. Let's see if they can go 2 for 2. And basically it's, hey, we long the 12-hour order block here or the trend line. Your stop is here and we target 5,100. I mean, they're giving you the trade. Let's see if it fucking works. Now, the trade I'm interested in taking rather than ETH, and this may be stupid, even though I think ETH is going to go up as well, because I believe that Bitcoin is going to remain range bound. And I posted a bunch of charts on this on Twitter and on Telegram. I believe that Bitcoin is going to bounce. We have this weekly order block right here, and we have the prior 2024 all-time high here. I really think that what we're doing right now is we're making a deviation. Now, I have these levels marked. If we do get a deeper drop, I like 107 and then into this daily breaker, but I would much rather this be kind of it, and then we reclaim this and we challenge these highs here, which would be back into that 12-hour breaker, which caused this weekly sweep, if you remember. This is what I'd like to see Bitcoin do, and similarly to how we longed ETH here. Remember my last few videos, I said if Bitcoin dips, we want to long ETH, because when Bitcoin bounces, I think ETH outperforms. The same thing is my thinking here. If Bitcoin gets a bounce here, I think ETH and alts do better. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting on Bitcoin. I don't think it's over. I do think we're closer to the end than we are the beginning. Kanye launching a coin, Tom Lee tweeting out fucking trendline TA, all of the other bullshit we have going on the macro, and all of the bullshit we have going on Twitter itself. These are not early cycle activities, and Bitcoin and its relationship to altcoin are not necessarily being early cycle in how they are acting either. That being said, if Bitcoin can just maintain this range, and I've talked about this in a few times videos already, I don't need to repeat myself, alts can go really crazy. Even if Bitcoin makes a marginally new all-time high but continues to go sideways, we can see Ethereum trade to 5, 6, 7, 8,000 during this time, okay? Or this is where the higher low on Bitcoin forms, and we get my second scenario where Bitcoin makes a substantially higher high, but let's not put the cart in front of the horse. So I do believe that Bitcoin is due for some relief. Whether it goes a little lower or not is TBD, but deviation of the range low back into the range is my expectation. And if that happens, you can already see ETH, the Tom Lee trade's already in profit a little bit here, but ETH probably outperforms. Now, something I'm interested in watching, and I may be wrong, right now ETH is stronger than Sol, but is looking at Sol ETH, and I may be early on this trade, okay? I may be fucking myself over by saying, okay, well, we should long Sol instead of ETH because Sol ETH is at monthly demand. I do believe that this is due for some sort of mean reversion, okay, from monthly demand here. And I also believe ETH BTC has taken out a bunch of highs and is maybe due for a little bit of a pullback after taking out all of this lick. Now, maybe not. Maybe it's got one more leg in it, right? And then this is high time frame supply. This will cause a decent rejection. I'm super confident in that. But I thought, hey, maybe this is going to pull back a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But if this pulls back a little bit and Sol ETH is at the low, maybe Sol will actually outperform on this next little leg up compared to ETH. They'll both go up, but Sol might go up a little more. I could be jumping the gun a little bit here because this is a monthly zone. So this could chop around here for weeks and then go. But I do think we're nearing a period of Sol outperformance, and I may be jumping the gun a little bit by just fading fucking Tom and his billions of dollars of buying. That being said, I like the Sol setup as well, where we have this key level at 190, right? 190, super key level for Sol here. We have demand, right? We have demand. Super key level. This is like a fucking easy trade here back towards the high, I think. And if ETH does rip, even if ETH outperforms Sol, like I do think Sol goes to at least 220 on this next leg, assuming the market decides to leg higher from here, which is what I'm predicting. But yeah, that's the Sol setup. And maybe I'm jumping the gun on thinking it will outperform ETH just because Tom Lee's got that fucking $1 billion big ball sack that he's going to be bidding with. How about that for some fucking consonants? Alliteration? Consonants? One of those two. Okay, I passed English. But yeah, anyways, that's kind of my fucking thought process here is I think Bitcoin is due for a bounce back into this range. And if Bitcoin is able to do this, I think ETH 5K plus, Sol 220 plus, and then we see what happens later. If things keep rolling over, it's going to look, a decent bit shittier. Like the downside scenario, right, is we lose the downside scenario here, right, is we lose this range here, right? Like we're in this range right now. If we lose this range, then we're back in this one, right? And I know we're in it right now, but this can just be a, retest of this and then back and stay up here, right? Because we don't really want to go back in this range because this opens up all the way back down to 100, right? And then maybe we're stuck in here. All of a sudden, this starts looking more and more toppy and ugly. The 2021 fractal is pretty strong right now. Like if you go look at this top and you look at this top, there's a lot of similarities here, which I don't like. And the key is going to be maintaining above these highs here, right? And that's where that weekly order block is. Like this, it could dip lower. We could even go down to 100 or slightly below 100. I'd rather not. Back to the yearly open would be horrific, but we technically could. I mean, this is weekly structure. So until we get a weekly close below there, weekly still bullish. Even if it SFPs that low, weekly is still bullish. The monthly structure is still very much firmly bullish, right? But we don't really want to see what happens down there. It would be very ugly. So we're not going to talk about that for now. I'm going to stick with this plan that I've laid out here on the bullish side. Bitcoin deviates this range low, trades back higher. ETH, Tom Lee, can they do it again? Tom Lee, Mark Newton, the best duo we've seen since Kobe and Shaq. Give us free money again. Why not? I'm willing to fucking like that. Like again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm going to copy trade them until it doesn't work. Because that's literally what like it's no different than when sailors like telegraphing the buys. Like that's what makes the level is people buying there. And it's not some sort of institutional interbank price delivery algorithm or some other fucking voodoo bullshit. It is like, this is the level everyone's looking at. Big money buys the level. It fucking bounces. More buyers than sellers, more sellers than buyers. That's it. And then, yeah, the Sol setup is similar here. So that's all I got. I love you, right? Use all my shit in the description. Use it, you fucking pieces of shit. Use Breakout or else, okay? Sign up to the Haven or else. Use all my ref links or else. Buy the IMG indicator and it will draw order blocks, fucking sweeps. It will show you entries for breakers and all that bullshit. Or use the free version. It doesn't cost you anything, okay? Or else. I will come through that screen and I will fucking kiss you right on the mouth, all right? Yeah, keep sending me DMs. I love the DMs about like, I obviously I fucking fed you guys the fucking ETH trade last week on a platter, both entries. And I got literally hundreds of DMs of people passing their breakout evaluations, making money, no tips, naturally, as you guys do. But cheap fucks. But I love those DMs. I genuinely do. So if you're making money off the stuff I'm sharing with you, let me fucking know. I love to hear it. Okay. That's all I got. It's a Monday. I'll talk to you guys on Wednesday. Until then, mwah. May Tom Lee and Mark Newton guide us to new highs. Peace out.